When I'm not lying to my older relatives about not being able to troubleshoot the printer over the phone, I like to answer questions that I get on YouTube, so let's get to it. Hi Sean, big fan. Question for the next QA. Serving the song is the most important thing for a musician, and in a duo, playing chords is the best way to serve the song, instead of playing more melodic single-note lines and bendy solos. So my question is, when you're in a duo, how do you overcome this feeling of being musically trapped by only being able to play chords? Keep up the good work. Great question, and I'm actually going to link you to a video that I did that goes more in-depth about kind of fancifying a two-chord song. But a lot of what I do live is in like an acoustic duo type thing. And I've seen a lot of other performers, whether it's a solo thing, just singing and playing, or accompanying someone else, and you can clearly tell that they're going through the motions. Like if they're just kind of playing chords, you know, they're just doing the same open chords all the time, which I understand that like the grind of being a performing musician can kind of get to you, but I think one of the best ways to kind of like what you're saying, not feel musically trapped, is to find ways to educate yourself while you're playing. And for me, that was just kind of like learning different chord voicings, being able to break up chords into rhythmic type pieces. And whenever I'm playing live, you know, you have the same set list, give or take a few new songs every week. I think it's always good to try to challenge yourself while you're in the moment to do something different, to keep your attention, and then also to improve your chops so you don't kind of get musically trapped, like you're saying. So a good example is, there's this Billie Eilish song that we play called Bellyache, which is super simple. It's like C to A minor, to E minor, to E minor again, right? So the first thing I started doing when I was playing out a lot more is I'd be like, all right, a lot of these popular modern songs are just a couple chords and they never change. So what I'll do is I'll start doing different chord voicing. That's kind of how I discovered that I love the sound of major 7 chord voicing. So instead of playing C, A minor, E minor, I'd play C, major 7, A minor 11. And then for the E minor, since we have 2 spots, I would try to do something a little bit different, because this is where maybe the singer is kind of stopping his or her phrase, and then you do something a little more kind of like that single note melodic run in the spaces in between. So for example, we got C major 7 to A minor 11 now, and then for the E minor part, so I'll play E minor, and then I'll find another E somewhere else on the neck. And again, it doesn't have the same kind of effect as like a solo type thing, but you are moving around and kind of using your knowledge of the fretboard. And now it's like, all right, well, I keep hitting the 7th fret on the A string, that's the E, and I always connect that to a E minor. So aside from just playing this song and my own compositions and stuff, I'll always know that that's there and that's available. So, you know, for the verses, you can kind of mute that a little bit to the A minor 11, to the E minor. And then when you get to the chorus, you can kind of go open and then add maybe like little pentatonic flourishes to those open chords, so you're creating a dynamic. And even though it's the same kind of arrangement that maybe you're used to, there's always new things that you can add to it in the moment. And I think really the beauty of playing live is that you can really force yourself to start adding those little things, and that'll make you like, it's made me a much better player, just being thoughtful about, all right, I'm going to be here playing for 3 hours. I don't want to just play open chords and kind of get bored, like, you know, like you were saying. And I witnessed a lot of people, especially in this town has a lot of venues where there's kind of like restaurant gigs and stuff. And you can tell the performer's not feeling it because they're just playing the same 4 chords the whole time. Use that as an opportunity to get better and do something different and kind of explore the neck. Because there's a fine line between stepping on a singer and also just being able to accompany. And I think learning different chord voicings and thinking about where those spaces are is a great way to start.
When I'm not wearing a Fender t-shirt or a hoodie with the arm stretched back in Florida where it literally never gets cold, thus making hoodies a fashion statement that no one thinks is cool, I'm trying to...
Rest of inappropriate comment. You know, I'm glad that this Salty Blues comment was mentioned, because this is something that I should really speak on, because I didn't know this before I moved to Florida. Again, I'm from the Midwest, so it gets hot and cold outdoors. When I first moved to Florida, I was like, man, it's really hot outdoors. And then I'd go indoors to my house that I was staying at by myself, and it was hot indoors too. And I was suffering, and then one day, I went to my friend's house, and again, it was hot outdoors, and I went inside, and it was cool indoors. And I was like, are you some kind of wizard? And he's like, no, we have this thing that you can change the temperature, so it's a different temperature indoors than it is outdoors. And I just kind of wanted to share that with you. So that's why I'm wearing a hoodie right now, even though it is hotter outdoors than it is indoors. Yeah, I always thought Paul Davis looked more like PewDiePie. What are your thoughts on hair metal bands? So Paul Davis, I got to meet briefly at NAMM. Totally cool guy. Probably does look a little bit more like PewDiePie than I do, even though I get the PewDiePie comment hundreds of times a day. I can only imagine how many times he gets it. But as far as hair metal bands, I think I was born just after the cutoff date for really being able to enjoy hair metal bands. Now, I Googled what technically is a hair metal or glam metal band. You've got like Motley Crue, Guns N' Roses, Whitesnake. I like Bon Jovi kind of ironically, which I guess that's a hair metal band I like. Dokken and Stryper would probably be two of my favorite hair metal bands that I don't listen to a lot, but whenever I hear or whenever I see the guitar stuff, it's like, this is actually really cool. What I think I might do soon is rank the Google glam metal band pictures in order of most awesome to least awesome. So make sure to stay tuned for that video, because just judging from what I'm seeing right here, could be a pretty good one. Sean, you have over 200,000 subscribers, an Irish band with an album coming out and constantly play venues for a living. My question to you, though, is would you go as far as calling yourself a minor celebrity? Definitely not a minor celebrity. I think the term is ghetto famous, that I like to use anyways. Now, around my friends and family, I act like I'm a huge celebrity. But again, that's just really kind of like to make them annoyed. Now, the great thing about being ghetto famous is you get free stuff. So I want to take this opportunity to shout out Ernie Ball, because they sent this care package out. I put this on my Instagram and some people asked like, well, what's actually in it? So I'm just gonna quick go through this box that they sent me super fast. Got a tuner from Ernie Ball, musician's toolkit, which is something I desperately needed, which I really need to start kind of adjusting the action on my own guitars myself, like a grown-up should. So maybe I'll make some videos on that too. A power peg string winder. I'm sure that's a great way I'm gonna break my strings. Polish cloth and cleaning kit, which all my guitars need. Some gaff tape, which is definitely handy. I got 2 packs of ukulele strings, or ukulele strings. I refuse to pronounce ukulele the correct way, which I do have a ukulele. So I don't know, if you guys want to see vids on that, I could probably do some kind of fake ukulele video. A glass slide, which has been on my list to learn how to play slide guitar forever. A couple of straps. This yellow and black one is actually pretty awesome. An amazing Slinky Pink guitar cable. Some new guitar strings. I've got these Burley and Ultra Slinky sets that I'm going to try out. And some picks, which the Prodigy picks are actually pretty awesome. I guess they have these new Everlast guitar picks, so I will be trying these out soon too. Just a massive shout out to Ernie Ball, because they've been one of the companies that I've been working with the longest. They're really good to other YouTubers. So give it up for the good people at Ernie Ball. For listening homework, I'm going to throw you to a track from the new Dream Theater album, which again, Petrucci, I don't really talk that much about him, but Petrucci is kind of like the man. And of those players, he's actually my favorite. I would say, from what I consider like prog rock, progressive rock stuff, there's a holy triangle of players, just in my opinion, and it's Petrucci, Adam Jones, Matt Bellamy. And I think the tone on the new Dream Theater album is really kind of like super faithful to it, a great modern sound, but still just like really the dude's riffing out. So check that. Let me know if you have any comments or questions. I'll talk to you all soon. Hit me up on Instagram, Twitter, the comment section of the website, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks a lot.